Readers make inferences. We do this all the time, actually, when we read, whether we're conscious of it or not. Conscious means whether we pay attention to it or not. When we read, we're always taking in several details. These details combine with just what we're thinking in our thinking voice, and from it we get new ideas. We combine our reading voice, which is what the book says, and our thinking voice, which is what our brain thinks that information means. And from that, we get an inference, also known as a new idea. We get new ideas all the time. So let's take a look at this diagram down here. This is us when we read. I call this diagram the Mr. Big Head diagram. Now, in the bottom of the diagram, there's always some big question. The question tells us that we need to practice practice our reading skills to figure it out. So what we do is while we read, we get all these details. And all these details go outside of the head because it's not what we're thinking, it's what the book is telling us. And then we take all those details and we notice the patterns. We notice that these things go together because something. And we also take stock of memories. These details make us think of certain things. This is how we make an inference. So let's start by practicing looking at this picture. Now remember, inferencing is using what the page shows us and what my thinking voice is saying to come up with a new idea of what's happening in this picture. Well, I see a horse, and I see the horse has brightly colored spots and bright colors in its mane. Oh, and it's got a horn. I see a boy riding on this horse. The boy's wearing a crown. The horse is being led by somebody. Okay. So, because it's a horse and it's white, and it has colorful spots and rainbow-colored mane and a horn, all those details go together. It's like it's a unicorn. These things go together to tell me that this is a unicorn. Now, let's see, there's this little boy, and he's being led on his horse, and he's wearing a crown, so maybe it's a special day for him. Maybe it's his birthday? I know that, I'm thinking, I remember that pony rides have been a thing at birthday parties I've been to in the past. And this boy's wearing a crown, so maybe he's important today. Maybe it's his birthday, and this is at his birthday party. Yeah. So, my inference is this boy is riding a unicorn on his birthday. And all of those were small details that went together with what I was thinking to create a new idea. Let's take a look at a second picture and do more inferencing. Now pay attention to when I say I see and I think. Both of those things will tell you whether I'm using my reading voice or my thinking voice to draw an inference. So in this picture, I see a puppy. I see a boy. I see the boy's wearing a jacket and boots, galoshes. There's a leash. I see a lot of grass. I see trees. I see a sidewalk. I see a big puddle. And I see reflections in the puddle. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I saw this puddle, and I see the boy wearing boots, and I see he's wearing a jacket. So I think it rained recently. That's why there's water on the floor. I see a puppy, and I see a leash, and the boy's holding a leash. So I think this is the boy's dog. And because they're walking on a sidewalk and there's lots of grass everywhere, I think they're walking in a park. So I just saw lots of little details, and I listened to my thinking voice for just a bit, and I drew an inference. Inferencing, in conclusion, is when we look at a text And the text can be a book, it can be a picture, it can be a movie. And what we're looking for is details in the text, and we combine them with what we're thinking. So we notice patterns, these things go together because of this, and memories. This makes me think of something. And together, we combine those things into an inference, which is a new idea, and that new idea is usually the answer to this question.